Welcome back. Today we're diving deep into gold IRAs, and we're zeroing in on something that's been on a lot of people's minds.
Yeah.
401k rollovers.
It's interesting, this whole idea of taking your 401k, usually invested in stocks and bonds, diversifying with gold, physical gold.
Absolutely. And our source today, best gold IRA companies for a 401k rollover to gold. It really breaks this down. It's from Gold IRA Blueprint. And hey, if you're looking for a little extra help, you can visit goldirablueprint.com/exclusive for a free checklist to help you pick the right company for you.
Yeah, if you're new to this whole thing.
Yeah, can you give us a quick rundown of what a gold IRA actually is?
Sure. Simplest terms, a gold IRA. It's a self-directed individual retirement account. It lets you hold physical gold, bullion, or coins as part of your retirement savings.
Okay, so it's kind of like a traditional IRA.
Yeah.
But instead of stocks and bonds, you've got...
Actual gold in the mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But why would someone choose to do that? What's the appeal of adding gold to a retirement portfolio?
Yeah, that's where things get really interesting. One of the main reasons is stability and protection against market, volatility.
Yeah.
Gold has historically been seen as a safe haven asset. Tends to hold its value or even go up in value when other markets are, not doing so well.
It's like having that financial anchor in your portfolio when things are stormy.
Exactly. Now, I'm not saying it's a guaranteed win, no investment is, but gold's history, especially during economic uncertainty or inflation, that has made it pretty attractive to a lot of investors looking to diversify.
That makes sense. So let's say you're intrigued by this whole gold IRA idea, especially to diversify that 401k. How do you even begin to choose the right company to work with? I mean, it seems like a pretty specialized field.
You're right, it is. And it's not just about finding any company that deals with gold. It's about finding a company that understands gold IRAs.
Oh.
Nice.
Reputable, transparent, and committed to
Yeah.
helping you navigate this.
Yeah, the Gold IRA Blueprint highlights several top companies for 401k rollovers, like Goldco, Augusta, Precious Metals, and Birch Gold Group. What makes these stand out?
Well, they all have a really strong reputation, not just for their expertise in precious metals, but also for their commitment to customer service. They have transparent fee structures and a diverse range of investment options.
Okay, so you're not just looking for the cheapest option, but one that offers, like, the whole package.
Wait, it's like choosing a financial advisor, not just a stockbroker.
Yeah.
You're looking for a partner, someone who understands your needs, gives you clear guidance, and helps you make informed decisions that are good for your long-term goals.
Okay, let's delve a bit deeper into some of these specific companies, starting with Regal Assets. What caught your eye about them?
Well, Regal Assets, they really push minimizing fees, which is
Yeah.
really important for long-term growth. They keep setup costs, transaction fees, and other expenses low, which can really make a difference in your returns over time.
Yeah, it's like they're saying, we know every dollar counts,
Okay.
especially when it comes to your retirement savings.
Exactly, and that commitment to maximizing your investment potential really, stood out to me.
Next is Birch Gold Group.
Mm-hmm.
What stands out about them?
Birch Gold Group, they put a big emphasis on investor education. They get that navigating the world of precious metals and gold IRAs can be overwhelming, especially if you're new to it. So they offer a ton of resources, educational materials, and personalized guidance to help you understand market trends, make informed decisions, and feel good about your investments.
So it's almost like having a personal tutor to walk you through it all.
You could say that. They really want to make you feel comfortable and knowledgeable, which is so important when you're dealing with something like retirement savings.
And we have Noble Gold. They seem to get really high marks for their platform, user-friendly platform, and just overall customer satisfaction.
Yeah, they do. Noble Gold. They know that. Setting up and managing a gold IRA can be a little daunting. So they've made things simpler, offering a really streamlined platform, clear communication, and reliable support.
So even if you're not like a tech person,
Yeah.
you can still navigate their system.
Exactly. And that focus on user experience, customer satisfaction definitely makes them stand out.
Okay, let's move on to Augusta Precious Metals. They caught my eye with their diverse range of investment options, including something called alternative assets. What are those exactly?
So alternative assets, they're investments that don't fall into the usual categories like stocks, bonds, and cash. It
Gotcha.
can include real estate, commodities, private equity, and even precious metals beyond just gold.
So it's like diversifying, even further within your diversified portfolio.
Exactly. Augusta Precious Metals offering these alternative assets, it lets you customize your portfolio even more, to maybe mitigate risk and
Yeah.
tap into different parts of the market.
It's like having more colors to paint your, financial masterpiece with.
I like that. It's about having more tools to really craft a retirement plan that works for you and your goals and risk tolerance.
And speaking of tailored strategies, our last company on the list, Advantage Gold. They seem to be all about personalized service.
They are Advantage Gold. They know there's no one-size-fits-all approach to retirement planning. So they take the time to understand your circumstances, goals, and risk tolerance, and then make a custom strategy for you to help you reach your objectives.
It's like having a financial tailor, creating a bespoke suit. That fits you perfectly.
Exactly. And that level of personalized attention can make a huge difference when it comes to something as important as your retirement security.
So we've got a good overview of some of the top companies out there. And just a reminder, if you're ready to take that next step, Gold IRA blueprint.com/exclusive has that free checklist to help you choose the right company. Now, with all these options, what are the key things someone should consider when making their decision?
Choosing the right Gold IRA company is a really big step. And there are a bunch of things to think about. Gold IRA Blueprint, they outline 5 that are super important. Reputation and experience, fees and expenses, customer service and communication, storage and security, and investment options. We've touched on some of these, but let's break them down a bit further.
Sounds good. So reputation and experience, what should people look for?
Well, it's always a good idea to do your homework. Look into the company's history, how long they've been around, their track record. Are there any red flags, customer reviews, and independent ratings can give you some good insights into their reliability and service.
It's like checking references before hiring someone or choosing a doctor.
Exactly. You're trusting them with a lot of your savings. So you want to make sure they're solid and have a history of success. Yeah. And then fees and expenses. We talked about how Regal assets, they're all about keeping those low, but it's something to really look at with every company.
Yeah, because even those little fees, they can add up over time, especially when you're thinking about retirement planning. It's a long game.
For sure. You got to understand the whole fee structure. Are there setup fees, annual fees, transaction fees for buying and selling, any hidden costs? You know, transparency is key.
Yeah, it's like reading the fine print before you sign anything. Nobody wants a surprise bill later on.
Right.
What about customer service? Communication. Why is that so important with gold IRAs?
Well, investing in precious metal, it's kind of different than traditional investments. You're dealing with physical stuff, storage, maybe some. Complex regulations, having good customer support, that can be a big deal. You want to feel like your questions are going to be answered quickly and thoroughly. Like you have someone to help you.
Yeah, it's like having someone in your corner, someone you trust, someone who could explain things.
Exactly. And communication is a big part of building that trust.
Okay, let's talk about storage. Security. This is a big one when it comes to actual gold.
Oh, for sure. You need to know your metals are safe. The good companies they work with, special depositories, that have high levels of security, often more than what the industry requires.
We're talking armed guards, cameras everywhere, multiple layers of protection, and insurance.
So it's like Fort Knox, but even more secure.
You could say that. It's all designed to protect your investment, give you peace of mind.
And finally, investment options. You mentioned some companies offer more choices, like those alternative assets. What should people be thinking about here?
It comes down to your risk tolerance, your strategy. Some people, they're good with just gold bullion and coins, straightforward. Others, they might want to diversify more. Look into gold ETFs, mining stocks, maybe other metals like silver or platinum.
So it's like building a custom toolkit. You pick the right tools for the job.
Exactly. A good company will help you look at your options, understand the risks, the benefits, and build something you feel good about.
Makes sense. So we've covered the key things to consider when choosing a company. Let's say you've done your research, found a company you trust, and you're ready. What does the actual rollover process look like from your 401k to a gold IRA? Well, Gold IRA Blueprint, they break it down into 5 steps, and it all starts with contacting your 401k administrator. Get all the info you need.
So you start with your current 401k provider, not the gold IRA company.
Right. You want to ask about any fees or penalties for doing a rollover. Understand the time frames, the assets you can roll over, any tax stuff. Get it all straight before you make the move.
Knowledge is power, especially with the spares. Retirement savings. What's next?
So once you have a handle on your 401k, the next step is to pick your gold IRA company. We talked about the things to think about, but this is where actually make that choice.
So you've done your homework, you've shopped around, you've found the one. Then what? Paperwork.
Oh, yeah, there's going to be some paperwork.
Yeah.
But the good companies, they make it pretty easy. Usually you just fill out a
Direct rollover request.
Yeah.
An account application for the gold IRA, maybe a custodian verification form just for IRS compliance.
So it's like signing the dotted line on a new adventure.
Yeah.
But with some official forms to...
Yeah, no, make it all legit.
Exactly. Just read everything carefully, double-check everything. And don't be afraid to ask if you have questions.
They're there to help you through it.
Right, that's their job.
Okay, so paperwork's done.
Yeah.
What's next? How do the funds actually move? From your 401k to your newly shiny gold IRA?
The most common way is a direct rollover. So the money goes directly from your old account to the new one without you ever touching it. This is really important for avoiding any immediate taxes.
So it's a seamless transfer. No detours, no delays,
Yeah.
and no surprise tax bills.
Exactly. The other option is to fund your gold IRA with cash from non-retirement account. You can do that with a bank transfer or direct deposit.
Okay, so there's some options depending on your situation. And once the money's there, the last step is to pick your investments.
Right.
Yep, that's when you work with the company to choose it. Specific gold bullion, coins, ETFs, or other assets that fit your plan. They'll explain the options, the pros and cons, help you build something you're happy with. It's like putting the final touches on your retirement masterpiece. But it doesn't just end there, does it?
It doesn't. Investing isn't a set it and forget it thing. You'll want to. Stay up to date on the gold market. Check on your investments from time to time. Keep an eye on prices. Economic news. Anything that might affect the value of gold.
So it's like tending a garden. You got to nurture your investments, make adjustments when you need to.
That's a great way to think about it, a proactive approach. It can really help you get the most out of your gold IRA and stay on track with your goals.
This has been so helpful, breaking down this whole process. Now I know a lot of our listeners might be new to all this and might have some questions or concerns. Let's look at some of the frequently asked questions. From the Gold IRA Blueprint article, first one. Are there penalties for rolling over a 401k to a gold IRA?
That's a common question.
Yeah.
The good news is, as long as you do a direct rollover, where the money goes straight from your 401k to your gold IRA, you can usually avoid penalties. The IRS, they see it as a direct transfer between retirement accounts, not a withdrawal.
Okay, that's good to know. Direct rollovers keep things simple from a tax point of view.
Exactly. It's always a good idea to talk to a tax advisor, just to be sure. But most of the time, direct rollovers are the way to go.
Now let's talk about the benefits. Why would someone pick a gold IRA over a traditional IRA or just staying in their 401k?
Well, we talked about some of the benefits already, but it really comes down to diversification and the thing. That potential for stability. Gold. It's historically held its value, even when things are unsettled. Or there's inflation. That makes it, a good option for protecting your money and managing risk.
It's like that saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Even if you like those eggs, it's good to have some other baskets.
Exactly. And gold can be a really valuable basket to have.
Here's another one we hear a lot. What happens to your gold IRA if the company goes out of business?
That's a good question. But it's important to remember that your gold, it's usually held in a secure depository. That's separate from the gold IRA company.
So the company manages the account, but the gold is somewhere else entirely.
That's right. The gold is yours, not theirs. If a company went under, the depository would either give you back your gold or transfer it to another custodian, whatever you choose.
Okay.
So your investment is still safe.
That's good to know. Sounds like there are protections in place, no matter what happens with the company. Finally, let's talk about taxes again. Anything else people should know?
So we talked about how direct rollovers are usually tax-free, but it's important to think about what happens later on when you start taking money out of your gold IRA. In retirement, those distributions, they're going to be taxed, just like regular income, same as a traditional IRA.
Okay, so the tax advantage is, while your money is growing, tax deferred. But you'll pay taxes when you take the money out.
Exactly. You got to factor that into your retirement plan. And it's always a good idea to talk to a tax pro to get the details for your situation.
This has been really insightful. I feel like we've really explored gold IRAs and 401k rollovers. And if anyone's feeling a little overwhelmed, just remember, Gold IRA, blueprint.com/exclusive has that free checklist. It'll help you navigate this whole world and choose the right path for you.
It's a great resource. It have all the key points and a step-by-step guide to get you started.
All right, we've covered a lot. Choosing a company, rollovers, taxes. There's a lot to take in. But I think it's also important to, talk about some of the myths and misconceptions about gold IRAs. There's
Yeah.
a lot of information out there.
Yeah.
Not all of it's accurate.
Yeah, it's like anything in finance. There are always going to be people pushing certain ideas, maybe out of fear, or
Yeah.
they don't really understand it, or maybe they even want to profit from those misconceptions.
Okay, so let's do some myth busting. What I hear a lot is that gold IRAs are only for
Yeah.
rich people. Is that
No.
true?
Not at all. There might be minimums, depending on the company. But gold IRAs are accessible to a lot of investors. You don't have to be a millionaire to think about adding gold to your retirement plan.
It's more about diversifying
Yeah.
and maybe hedging against economic uncertainty
Mm-hmm.
than it is about...
How much money you have.
Exactly. It's about matching your investment strategy to your goals
Yeah.
and your risk tolerance. Doesn't matter how much you have now.
Another myth I hear is that gold is volatile. It's always going up and down. Is there any truth to that?
Well, gold prices do fluctuate, like anything else.
Of
But
course.
you got to look at the big picture. Gold's held its value over time. It's often a safe haven during tough economic times or inflation.
Like a ship, going through rough waters, there might be some ups and downs, but the overall direction is pretty stable.
I like that. And when you compare gold to other assets,
Yeah.
its volatility doesn't look so bad.
Let's talk about security. Some people worry that holding gold in an IRA is risky. That it could be.
Yeah.
Stolen or something. Is that a legitimate concern? It's a normal concern. But that's why it's so important to choose a good company, one that you trust, they work with, those specialized depositories. With all the security measures, we're talking armed guards, cameras, multiple layers of protection, and insurance.
So it's like Fort Knox, but even more secure.
Yeah, those depositories are built to keep your metals safe, so you can rest easy knowing your gold is protected.
That brings us to another myth. Gold IRAs are too complicated. Any truth to that?
Well, there are some rules and regulations, but the good companies, they make it as easy as possible. They give you guidance, resources, education, support to help you figure it all out.
It's like having a guide leading you through the golden maze so
Yeah.
you don't get lost.
Exactly. They can help you choose the right custodian, pick the right investments, handle the rollover, answer your questions. It's not as hard as it sounds.
We've debunked some myths. Now let's be real. Are there any risks or drawbacks to gold IRAs that people should be aware of?
Sure, like any investment, there are risks. Gold prices can go up and down. There's no guarantee you'll make money.
It's like any journey. There might be some bumps along the way.
Yeah.
Even if the destination is good.
Exactly. You got to go into this with realistic expectations. Gold is not a get-rich-quick scheme.
Yeah. So it's not a magic solution, but it can be a valuable part of your retirement plan.
I like that. And when you consider how gold has protected against inflation and how it can diversify a portfolio, the potential benefits are pretty strong.
We've covered a lot today. Gold IRA basics, choosing a company, rollovers, myths, risks, rewards. It's been a fascinating deep dive.
It has. And I think we've given our listeners some great information to help them make good decisions about their retirement.
Absolutely. And for those who want to learn more, you mentioned a checklist a few times. Where can they find that?
It's on goldirablueprint.com/exclusive. It's full of tips, insights, and a step-by-step guide to help you navigate the world of gold IRAs.
Awesome. And as we wrap up, I want to leave our listeners with this. Investing in precious metals can be a great way to protect your money, diversify your investments, and navigate uncertain times. But like any investment, it takes careful thought, a long-term view, and a willingness to stay informed.
Very well said. Do your homework. Choose a company you can trust and make choices that are right for you and your goals and your risk tolerance. And remember, there are resources to help you.
Thanks so much for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you found it helpful and insightful.
It's been great, and we hope you'll keep exploring this exciting part of retirement planning.
Until next time, may your portfolios shine bright.